Hail, and welcome to Shadow of Space, and we're commenting on another BCP video. This one is titled, Kevin Hart shuts down Breakfast Club as he refuses apology to black liberals over George Floyd joke. This was uploaded May 26th. This is being recorded May 27th, and link is in the description.
Again, it is not a laughing matter. We are here today to call your attention to the fact that an egregious, disgusting joke was made about George Floyd. Here we are about to memorialize George Floyd for year 6 after his brutal murder at the hands of the Minneapolis Police Department. Our community is still experiencing grief and trauma. We have young people in our community who were children at the time, they're now teenagers, still dealing with the impacts of the police killing of George Floyd. And instead of allowing our community to grieve in peace, to celebrate George Floyd in peace, we have Netflix comedians making light of the brutal killing of George Floyd. It is unacceptable and it is unconscionable. Tony Hinchcliffe made a grotesque joke.
So, really, Netflix actually had a tremendous impact and started a conversation about George Floyd before you got here.
Saying that George Floyd is looking up at us, laughing, and he can't breathe. When I saw the clip online, it made me sick to my stomach. We are here to declare today that there needs to be accountability for Kevin Hart's Netflix roast.
Kevin Hart is responding to the George Floyd roast criticism. Here's what we got to say.
Yeah, the George Floyd joke, it wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience, but our audience that's watching the roast, if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not, I wasn't shocked. Like, that's what they do. Go look at the Tom Brady one. Like, that's what they do. It happens every year when they do a roast. It's not new. This isn't a new...
Right? Just roasts are offensive. They're horrendously offensive. They're egregiously offensive. To get offended at this one joke goes to show that you don't watch roasts ever.
It's not a new agenda. It's not a new approach to comedy.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
I feel like you're saying going too far is the point. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yes, I mean,
okay.
That's why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart, I'm not trying to indict your character at all, but I do think this reflects your character. You have more energy and effort for protecting this white man in the name of comedy to be able to say racist shit than I've seen you protect black folks publicly, especially when it comes to dealing with racist shit. Before I go further in this analysis, I want to say to all the comedians that believe in freedom of speech, that does not equal freedom of critique. I don't want to hear nothing about being sensitive and not being able to take a joke.
Well, you can critique someone. You can critique someone being an asshole, or you can critique someone providing legitimate criticism while still being somewhat positive about your criticism.
I heard the joke, I took it, and now I'm giving you a criticism. Don't be too sensitive to hear a criticism of your humor.
Boy. So we gotta follow up on our coverage.
See, but there's a difference between that was horrendously offensive and you should apologize versus I didn't really like it. I didn't think it was a good taste. I think you maybe should have either not had him or not had him say the joke.
Massive backlash that Kevin Hart and Tony Hinchcliffe and other comedians got over some jokes about George Floyd and slavery. Now, I covered this topic
from the people who sit there and say that Republicans are sensitive, who say that Republicans are snowflakes, are now getting not only upset at the joke, but now we're getting upset at Kevin Hart, a black man's response to that joke.
Maybe a couple weeks ago, where you had a bunch of black liberals upset, boohoo, whining, crying. You can't make jokes about George Floyd, right? While at the same time, at this comedy event, comedy special, whatever, there was jokes about Charlie Kirk. There was jokes about other dead people, right? It was a free fall, okay? It was literally uncensored, right?
Right.
You say whatever.
Right. I mean, you want to sit here and say that that it was offensive to talk about George Floyd because you were making fun of his death. Okay, well, there was also a joke in there about Charlie Kirk. In fact, of Tony Hinchcliffe, getting a load shoved down his throat or something. Like, also making fun of someone's death, also making fun of someone dying. No one cares about that. They didn't even see it. They saw the George Floyd joke and they were immediately offended. They didn't see the other joke. They didn't see any of the other offensive things that were said the entire night long.
They make jokes about whatever they want to make jokes about.
Or they did, and those jokes were fine and appropriate and acceptable, but this one joke in particular was bad and was inappropriate. Okay.
Right? But the woke revolutionaries literally staged protests.
The entire thing should be pulled from Netflix, should be virtually deleted because of one joke. Not multiple jokes that were said through the evening that were offensive, but literally one joke that you found offensive should have the whole thing shut down. Do you know how many things, both on the left and the right, would be shut down if even one single person disagreed with it being there? You wouldn't be able to do anything.
Against Netflix, against Kevin Hart, against Tony Hinchcliffe, demanding that Kevin Hart and others apologize.
And yet, Mamdani can take buildings from neglectful landlords, and that's completely acceptable.
And now Kevin Hart is responding to the black liberal mob, and he's refusing to apologize. He's going to get confronted on the Black Breakfast Club by Charlamagne the Devil about the backlash, and I want to react to it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, the George Floyd joke, it wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience, but our audience that's watching the roast, if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not, I wasn't shocked. Like, that's what they do. Go look at the Tom Brady one. Like, that's what they do. It happens every year when they do a roast. It's not new. This isn't it's not a new agenda. It's not a new approach to comedy.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
I feel like you're saying going too far is the point. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yes, I mean, that's why you're there. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to, because we're being honest. People are talking about that joke. Talk about his set. Tony Hinchcliffe arguably had the best set, or one of the best sets, between Tony and Cheryl, and I would say Naeem had a really strong set.
Naeem had a very strong set. I was laughing out loud at Tony until that joke.
Until the joke.
But not even just that joke. I don't like when people joke about violent, tragic death. I liked Pete's set, and then I was like, why you had to say anything about Charlie Kirk?
What a hypocrite.
Pete had a great set too. Pete had a Charlie.
Pete's, but not even just that joke. I don't like when people joke about violent, tragic death. I liked Pete's set, and then I was like, why you had to say anything about Charlie Kirk?
Pete had a great set too. Pete had a Charlie Kirk joke in it. Yeah. Like, would I tell those jokes? No. But do I get why they're being told? Mm-hmm. Yes. Like, I'm not looking at Pete crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right? That was my reaction. I'm like, well, if this is a comedy event and all these comedians are there and the whole point is to roast each other in the most offensive ways possible, then it is what it is. Like, that's the whole point. The whole point is that there's not supposed to be any censorship.
It really just goes to show the hypocrisy. He was laughing the whole time this white supremacist racist was doing their skit until they made the joke. So it was just
at all
one joke. And the
quite
whole thing
honestly,
should get shut
That's
down.
the way I like my comedy, right? Me personally, okay, I like raw, uncut comedy, right? And even if it's a joke that's kind of messed up, right? As long as it's equal, right? In terms of anybody can get the smoke, right? It's not one-sided type of thing. I'm good with it, right? And I mean, look, there was jokes about Charlie Kirk that were offensive. But there were also jokes about, again, George Floyd. So it's like, all right, well, it's a free fall. It's like everybody can get smoked. It's not just, oh, well, we only can tell.
Okay, but if you're going to say that you shouldn't joke about Charlie Kirk's death, then is it appropriate to make fun of George Floyd's death, even if they're in like the same venue, if jokes being told by the same comedian at the same time? I lost it.
Messed up jokes about, certain people, and we can't
Or
tell messed up jokes about other.
Is the fact that it's a roast and the fact that they're already supposed to be being offensive, does that make it okay to suddenly make fun of people's death? I don't get it. To me it's just a shield to say offensive things. That is the whole point of a roast, is to just be as offensive as possible. But then at the end to say, "Oh, but I love you, you're such a great person, it's okay, everything, I was just kidding."
He was like, no, literally everybody got to smoke at this event. So I don't see the problem, right? I personally don't see the issue. We cannot be canceling comedy, right? We can't do that, okay? Especially considering how this is not a political thing, unlike Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel is political activism disguised as comedy, right? I think it's a little bit different.
See, but if you're just going to start just labeling things as not comedy, then where is the line truly drawn? Was this joke funny? If there was even one person who thought that it was offensive, does that mean that it's not funny? How does one determine whether something is comedy or whether something is activism disguised as comedy?
This is not political, right? There's nothing.
How do you determine whether it's being used as a shield to just say whatever you want to say, or if you're saying it to actually be funny? I don't get to make the determination on whether a joke is funny. That's up to the audience. I don't choose that. That's not up to me.
What happened during that show, right? It's just comedy, and everything was allowed. It is what it is.
I'm not looking at Tony quick. Like, that's what I know what you're going to do. I know your style of comedy.
Did you see the interview that I did with Terrence Floyd, George Floyd's brother?
No.
So he said
no shot to you.
No, okay. That's look.
I'm never watching it.
That's fine.
I just want to be clear. I'm never.
It's okay, Kevin Hart. I don't watch it either.
Watching that.
I only brought it up.
Even now that you told me, I'm not going to go back and go look at that interview.
Because he's a.
See, that wasn't a joke. Why is he laughing? This is why none of this makes sense.
But I just want to make it clear so you understand what I do with my time. Like, I'm never doing that. Okay, go ahead.
Not laughing. Not laughing. Why is he? What did he think was so funny about what he said?
The joke.
I don't get it.
It picked up pretty big, so I didn't know if you saw it. But he basically said, like, as a fan of you and knowing that you came to the funeral to support his family, even though it's a roast and Tony, that's what he does, they expected you to kind of be the person that would, like, stop it right in the moment or...
Okay, well, we talked about this the other day. Did Kevin Hart know George Floyd? How would you define their relationship? This is like Donald Trump going to Charlie Kirk's funeral. They weren't friends. Like, I don't know how you could have a problem with that, but then think that this is okay and acceptable. Why?
Just not allow for certain things to happen.
And he also said he wanted you to come harder. He said if they're going to joke, why you ain't come harder with your own jokes?
All right.
Racist jokes, I guess.
This is actually a good thing to give a rebuttal to.
See, then
They talked about my dead mom and my dead dad. said that they were running a train on my mom in
That was
heaven,
hilarious.
right?
It was
Oh,
the
that
double
was
entendre.
crazy.
The
Yeah,
double
that was
entendre was
Regina
hilarious.
killed that.
Right?
Yes,
Oh
that
wait,
was
that's
great,
right. You
great.
probably should say killed
They-
that.
Yeah, guys, they're making fun of his dead relatives. Any normal person should think about what they're doing there and be like, no, that's not okay.
The jokes about Kevin was on a slave ship in a bottle with like the ship in the bottle. Like, I'm going to appreciate.
You can't even use the word plantation without being triggered into the PTSD slavery flashbacks, and yet a joke about him being on a slave ship is funny, and you think that's appropriate humor? Like, where are we? You're all insane.
Humor. I don't get affected by the attempt of humor. I get it, right?
Facts. Same here, right? What Kevin Hart is-
Then how do you distinguish between someone who's saying something offensive to be funny versus someone who's saying something offensive to be offensive?
say like even he got the smoke.
The guy next to you literally started laughing at something that wasn't even funny. Like,
They joked about his dead parents, right? And he was like, "It's comedy, right? It's funny, right? Like I'm not affected by it." I think that's how most people should react. I'll just say like this should be the reaction. This is how it should be, right?
Then if the left posts some stupid meme about Charlie Kirk dying, some person doing some stupid dance, it's just comedy, right? It's just them making fun of it, so they should be able to do it. I don't get it.
Nowadays, our society, we're so soft that we get offended by everything, and it's like, again, it's jokes. It's not personal. It's just jokes at the end of the day.
In this case,
Like, what's his name with the fake grieving widow grifter Halloween outfit? That was just a joke. That was a meme. That was supposed to be funny. A whole bunch of people got super offended by that meme. Should they not have been offended? It was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be funny. The fact that it was making fun of Charlie Kirk's wife is irrelevant. It was supposed to be comedy. Weren't you laughing? You were supposed to be laughing. Ha ha. No?
more.
No. Now we have to be less sensitive. Now we have to be less sensitive. Now we have to grow a thicker skin. Now we have to toughen up and be better.
My production. We're live. The more is what?
I don't know.
Like what is it that you expect me? You want me to take a live production and stand up and fight Tony or have a reaction? Like, Tony told a joke. It wasn't a tasteful joke to us. We didn't like it. Okay. Hey man, fuck that joke. We move on. I don't understand why we stand on a hill and it becomes like this big thing of like, oh man, the motherfuckers, they do this and they're attacking the culture. It doesn't have to be that. It literally is either you're a fan of this level of content or you're not. And if you're not a fan, then you don't watch it.
Then don't watch it. Do you know what? I don't like roasts. So do you know what? I didn't watch it.
Well, they're fans. They're just fans if it's jokes about Charlie Kirk, right? If it's messed up jokes about Charlie Kirk being assassinated, then they're totally fine with it. They're totally okay with it.
So what does that tell you about people who enjoy messed up jokes?
They didn't boohoo whine and cry about that. They didn't complain about that. They didn't protest about that. They only protested about the George Floyd joke, right? So it's one-sided. They're totally cool with it if it's messed up jokes about white people. But what Kevin Hart is getting at here is the fact that the pro-black mob expects him as a black person to check individuals who are not black who make jokes that are offensive to black people. And it's like, it's not his job to do that. It's not his job to censor people just because they offend black people, right? It's almost as if these people demand.
Well, it isn't his job to censor people when they make fun of black people. When other black people, potentially, were making fun of him all night long, and he was just supposed to sit there and take it. Like,
Some type of tribal allegiance to black people.
well, because that's what it is. It's just tribalism. It's just the lines for the tribe are drawn based off skin color. They're somewhat drawn based on ideology to a degree, because they definitely don't want black Republicans. They aren't black, but they function basically the same. They're basically just a communal group that supposedly advocates on its own behalf.
It's like, no, we're not doing that, right? We're not canceling people over jokes, right?
My last note for all attached to this is very simple, okay? Whatever the headlines or whatever the dialogue is, my rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it. If you are upset that the night went on, that's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what? What do you want me to do? I'm going to drag him off? You want me to fight afterwards? You want me to turn it into like what?
Drama?
That's not what I agreed
Conflict?
to do. That's not the job at hand. The job at hand was to produce a successful roast.
See, what you don't understand, Kevin Hart, is they're at war. You see, they're fighting for their freedom in this country.
I did. I also got the rebuttal. I also got to say shit at the end. What are we dealing with here? I'll say it again. Stop talking as if I said it. So when you say the family and the family's affected, I didn't disrespect the family. Showed up for the family when it happened.
You know, I believe this is exactly what I said in my video covering this, is that it's the production, it's the venue, it's Netflix. Netflix doesn't own the joke, did not own that person or review the jokes that they were going to say ahead of time, and he did not say the jokes. I have no idea why Netflix or Kevin Hart are getting any backlash from this whatsoever. It's not their fault. They had nothing to do with this. Why are you pointing the finger at him? What did he do?
Made sure that the family felt supported. Made sure that all things there were actually cool. Behind the scenes, just as an example, you know the one person that I talked to, and I'm not even gonna tell you the conversation. Stephen Jackson.
Oh, I know he caught that.
That's because that's my nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, Stack, let me just call you, man, so I can explain to you like the world of the roast.
Another perfect example, but I'm not going to say
X, Y,
it.
and Z. We talked. I get it, Kev. We had a great conversation. But that's what I mean when I say, hey, man, let me call the one person after. And that's before whatever you're talking about. That's immediate. Stack, hey, Tony threw one out there. It's this and this, but you do know that that's what this shit is a roast. But I just want you to know from my side, that man is on his own.
You ain't lead with that, Kev. You should
Lead
have been
what?
leading with that the whole time.
Because I don't need to.
People just want to know you care.
I don't fucking need to prove to people that
Yeah, why?
I give a fuck.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Just this time. This one time.
No.
This just shows how not a man you are. What does he have to prove? He has a Netflix special. He's been in more movies and things in the past 5 years than you've had special guests on this show. Like, it's probably an exaggeration. He's a star.
No, you don't. You do not need to coddle the mob, right? You don't need to make them feel better, right? You don't need to wipe.
Free speech dictates that you can be critical of what I have to say, but I don't have to change what I'm saying at all. I don't have to give in to you. I don't have to assimilate to your ideas of me and what you expect from me.
Tears away and tell them it's gonna be okay, right? You don't need to do any of that. Just move on, right?
Isn't this what they said? Isn't this what Whoopi said with the Christopher Nolan Odyssey movie? is it Christopher Nolan? I think it was. Where she was like, if you don't like these people who are going to be acting in the movie, then just don't watch it. This is the response to Snow White, the live-action remake, is if you don't want to watch it because you think that it's bad, then we don't want your business. This is New York. We don't want the billionaires. We don't want the landlords. It would be a whole lot better if you just removed yourselves than having us forcibly remove you, Like,
Just move on. You don't need to say anything. Because saying something and calling these people, okay, makes them feel like they got power. If you move on, right, you don't bend the knee, then you take away their power, right? Again, the reason why they did the protest and all the boohoo whining and crying is because they wanted to pressure Kevin Hart into canceling his colleagues, right? So you can't give them an inch, right? Because if you give them an inch, then they're going to take a mile, and then they're going to be demanding that all comedians who aren't left wing, really, like, let's be honest, that they're canceled, okay? So, you know, we can't live in a world like that.
No. If you open that door, then that's the door that people expect all the time. Why the fuck do I need to do that?
I think it's because of
because
how much.
because it would mean that anytime something happened and he slipped up again, he would have to pull a Stephen A, where he would have to make some groveling apology that he didn't actually mean, or he only like half meant, just to appease you, to appease like 10% of the population. Like,
The George Floyd situation affected so many people. This is, I think, I get what you're saying and how you stand on your business, and I respect
I'm
you
not
for
talking
that.
about standing on business.
Or whatever it is. I think with certain
Did
things.
not.
he didn't say it.
But their pushback is it happened at Kevin Hart's roast.
You
Kevin
can't-
Hart, who is like, he's out, like, so many of us.
Is it Kevin Hart? Whoa. Is it Kevin Hart's roast, or is it Netflix's roast? Who owns it? Yeah, Kevin Hart's name is on the special, but Netflix is the one who buys the venue and gets the camera set up and actually puts on the production.
For you,
I got
your
the
hours.
example.
They just want to hear you say.
Okay, I got
just want to
the
hear you say what you said today is tasteless. You actually
Yeah.
reached out to somebody who's considered his
That's
family
it.
to say,
I don't
let
think-
them know. That's all.
I have the best example.
Mhm.
If I go to a nightclub and like we're celebrating, right?
Okay.
And 2 people get killed that night at
Sorry.
the nightclub. What's the headline?
Kevin Hart's party got shot.
Shot
Two
up.
people
2
got
people
killed at
died
Kevin Hart's
at
party.
Kevin Hart's party. Right? People may say, I'm never going to Kevin Hart's party again. Man, you can't go to Kevin Hart shit. Kevin Hart shit ain't safe. I ain't fucking with Kev. You heard what happened. I go, but I didn't fucking do it. I didn't even know the people that fucking was shooting. I didn't even know the 2 people that got killed. That's the nature of being the name. Your name is attached to things to make things bigger.
It's also the thing about having it be live is that if you decide to get up and do something, it's not like they're going to edit it in post to make you look better.
What is my fucking... I didn't shoot the gun. Why am I arguing and why am I doing interviews after?
Why were they in your party with guns?
But
Kevin?
who knows? I don't work the metal detectors. I'm not the security guys. The club does all that. I don't have those answers. You understand what I'm saying? Like the responsibility.
And it's a live show, so if it's a live show, then it isn't going to be scripted. They aren't going to look at the jokes ahead of time. They have no idea what's going to come out of these people's mouths when they go up there.
It starts to compile as if I'm the one in charge. We are not in charge of the dialogue from anybody on that stage.
If Tony calls you right now and says, man, Kev, man, I was out at the comedy club, man, and man, this dude, man, who said he was George Floyd's brother, smacked the shit out of me.
You gotta deal with that.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? What the fuck you want me to do? That's the consequences of the shit.
Yeah, see, now you heard that. It sounds to me like Kevin Hart is refusing to bend the knee to the mob, right? The mob is demanding that he censor Tony Hinchcliffe, he censor his colleagues, and he's like, nah, right? Nah. And that's not my job, right? My job is not to censor my colleagues. It was a roasting session. Everybody got to smoke. It is what it is. Cry harder. I think he's handling this pretty well. Obviously, he has to keep in mind that, you know, there are a lot of black people and he don't want to get kicked out of the cookout, right? That black people are sensitive, okay? So he's appealing to their sensitivities without groveling, right? Without a full-throated apology or, you know, anything like that. He's still defending his colleagues as well, too, saying that, hey, they have the autonomy to tell whatever jokes they want to tell, right? It's a free-fall, and I'm not going to police it. And he's right. He should not be policing the jokes because ultimately, at the end of the day, when you get down to policing jokes, yeah, that's a hard job, right? And that's when things start to get political, okay? And it's better, you know, when you talk about comedy, to keep the politics out of it. And the best way to do that is to allow a free fall. That's what it was. Everybody got to smoke. It is what it is. These black liberals can pound sand, right? They can cry harder. And I hope that Kevin Hart does not apologize. Do not bend the knee to the mob. You don't need to. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
I mean, I guess I don't know how hard the death threats or other tactics that the left uses. I don't know how much he's being affected by that at this point, but if they haven't started doing it yet, then I imagine they're probably going to start soon. If they're going to, I don't know. Do I think he should say something? If you believe that an actor's voice doesn't have any more weight than yours does, then I don't know why him saying anything would do anything. I don't know what it matters. Accountability, okay? The guy said the joke. You know he said the joke. It would be very difficult to take that back at this point. Okay? So what does the guy who said the joke do about it? You make fun, you call out Kevin Hart, you call out Netflix. Why aren't you doing something about the guy who said the joke? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. And it's the point that he brought up is you are blaming someone who had next to nothing to do with the event happening, and yet for some reason you think that not only was he somehow involved, but that he should have done something to intervene. Like, there's no way he would have known that the joke was going to be said until he heard the joke. So the joke would have had to have been said for him to do something about it. There would have been no way to actually prevent that joke from being said outside of knowing that he was going to tell the joke beforehand and trying to get him to stop, which doesn't have a guarantee of success, or to just not have him. So how do you actually prevent someone from engaging in an action that's inappropriate? How would you have actually stopped him from making this joke?